All right, what's going on, traders? Just wanted to kind of do a real quick wrap up for the week. USD JPY, we saw it move tremendous off of this trend line and extended fib up to a key level. So there was a trade there. I did not take it. I'm going to write that in there just so we can see what that would have looked like. So I'm going to start a new practice where we write in trades. We will be able to tell what that percentage would have been, but then we're going to have an actual percentage for things that we called out and took. This is solid in theory, but I didn't pull the trigger there, so I hope that's all right with y'all. Y'all let me know in the comment section if that's cool. That's kind of how I want to do it, though. This will be a little bit tighter, obviously. 784, pretty good. Yeah, and I'll write it in the description, whatever the totals are, instead of taking too much time writing it down and all that good stuff like I did last week. Anyways, USD, there was a drop off here. Didn't identify it. Still can't identify that. It was kind of a reversal in no man's land, if you will. Kind of off the key level. We can play off the key level and say that that's what it was. Needless to say, it wasn't something that I was really looking at heavily, even though we had this little formation. Probably could have been foreseen. A lot of breakdown happening right in here. Maybe. I'll have to go back and look at this one and see if there's something to learn there. USD JPY, this was a really big mover. This one, if you'll remember, we had this uptrend that I noticed was running out of steam. So you notice how it stair steps, and there's another example I'm going to show you where if it would have kept stair stepping like that, I can't really predict that it's going to die. The fact that it leveled out and played right up this trend line, and then we got some signs of exhaustion bars right in here. You go to the 1 hour chart so you can see them. We had some exhaustion bars right here. Let me circle that. How we do this? This one. So right in there is where I'm talking about. So feel free while I'm doing this to pull up your charts. Pause the YouTube video, go to Tradingview, pull up this exact chart, NZD JPY on the 60-day, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. That's usually the best way, is to just follow along. But yeah, there was a huge drop down here, and it really meant a huge gain. So it's a 638, and that's a real profit that we'll take for the week, because I spotted it not only after the fact, but I spotted it beforehand, so we actually would have got into that. Okay, and then we got New Zealand Swiss franc. I'll close this out for 4.6. This foreseen, but I don't have an arrow on there. And when I say an arrow, I mean this arrow right here signifies a live entry, or like I actually got in there, or would have gotten in there for a real-time play, right? So even if it's a trap, even if I set a trap like a limit order on a pivot, if I put this arrow there, that means that I saw it ahead of time, meaning we would have got triggered for that trade. Just wanted to be clear on that. Okay, and then we had GBP USD, closed that one out, 2.4, nice little play. Could have got more, obviously, but it's not all about that. It's not all about maximizing it. It's about getting in, getting out, making your money. This one was interesting. We closed out the first two positions for 14%. It was amazing. I had a third position right here that was running. It dropped down. Probably should have got out here. We didn't. So maybe this one should have been a limit order. I don't know. But yeah, it looks like the tide turned on us, and we ended up getting out -1%. So we lost money on that one. But we had 13% total running here. So not bad. And again, this was just something that was seen, not necessarily taken. GBP JPY. On the 5th, 2.27, we got out on this play. We lost the two previous. We were trying to play it in, and then we came off of this big trend line, this big spike up, and we kind of have like a little quick head and shoulder type pattern. We dropped in, made that money. That was nice. GBP CHF. This one's still running technically. But yeah, I think this situation, I'm probably out now, being that we're coming up on the weekend. I'll just go ahead and close it out. So it would look something like this. A little bit better than that. 0.75. So you guys get to see that one live. Close out 0.75%. And today is the 8th. Yeah. Okay. GBBCAD, 3 positions at 8%. And we kind of dodged a bullet because you see how it spiked up. And yeah, we just would have got hurt there. That was nice. Nice little play. This one, I wrote this in this morning. It did not trigger yesterday's pivot entry. So I put this in for yesterday. So it would have had one of these on it, right? Boom. Did not happen. If it would have happened, it would have been nice, but it didn't. So we're out on this. Nothing happens. But I wanted to write that in there so you guys can see. Sometimes you can be right, but it didn't pull back enough to hit the pivot entry. So when I mean pivot entry, if you guys haven't been following me or this is your first video seeing me, I mean coming down to this pivot level. This light blue line is where the price would have had to touch in order for me to get triggered. Now you notice it got close, but if it would have touched and then went up, I would have got triggered out. This is my key level, so I would have got triggered out, and that would have been a 1.17 risk reward ratio. So a 1.17 profit on a pretty much hands-free trade, just from understanding, you know, how my setup works and all that good stuff. It's pretty good stuff, pretty cool. CADJPY, I'm going to go ahead and, man, I don't want to get out this. I don't like MACD right now, though. Yeah, I don't like MACD. Let me look at the rest of the charts here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go too much. We hit the overextended level, you know what I mean? So maybe we get out right here. Okay, this says that we got out for 0.94. Wonder what happened here. And if that's still... I'm gonna go back and look at this. 2.2 is where we're at right now. So close out 2. I need to go back and look. I'll go back and look at my old videos and try to see if we got out of this leg or if it was this leg that we were talking about getting out of, because I don't know. I do need to figure that out though, because yeah, this is a hell of a play right here off of this high level. So anyways, but again, it wasn't a live entry. It's kind of an after the fact. It was beautiful, man. I should have been able to see that little drop down pullback triggered in, and yeah, that's how that one could have looked. Yeah, like that. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. Even if it's the same trade. Okay, whatever. I'll go back and look, guys, and I'll write something in the description so you know. 3% closeout. We're out on this. So this was a 4. Yeah, I remember this one. 4% -1, 3% here for the week. That's good. Euro GBP. I closed this one out for a -0.4 because we're about to react here. I feel like this is about to be a drop down. And I might have some evidence for that somewhere. Look around a little bit. But I don't like the fact that that key level is right there. So I don't know if I want to really trade into that. But yeah, I feel like we're becoming exhausted and maybe there's a fall off. And this MACD is definitely telling us the story. Just gotta listen to it. See that? So yeah. So the only thing keeping me from getting into this is the fact that the weekend is here. Didn't get in because it's Friday. Do that. And then I'm going to do this just so that I can kind of see. Like that. Okay. CHF. Man, this is crazy. I mean, it looks like we had a position right here as well. Yeah. Plenty of opportunity. I think what happens is people are too worried about missing anything. But there's so many trades, it doesn't even matter. This is 7%, 2%. I got 2 of those identified. This one I'm going to go ahead and close out. And I think there's, maybe I'll close it out. I don't know. Do I have much further to go? That's the question. I don't really have like a real strong level or anything. I had mentioned this, yeah, I remember this now. I had mentioned that we were converging and that there's going to be a play here, and I was right. Whenever you see confluence stacked like that, and what I mean here is this big bar, you know, big tail here, and we're converging on 2 moving averages. You already know it's respecting this red one pretty heavily. But we got the red one and the pink one right here. So 200 EMA, 50 EMA, we're going down. That's just how I felt on that one. I'm not getting out of this. I'm going to go ahead and let this ride over the weekend. But my aiming point is going to be here, maximum. We're looking at almost 15%, guys. That's for next week. So there you go. But again, it's not something I picked immediately. So these green arrows are positions I picked up on this week. And it looks like we only made 0.61 because this was a shot trade. It was winning. I should have probably got out. I held on to it a little too long. And that's how we ended up not making very much. That coupled with bad stop placement on this first trade. Okay, I get it. You know, we're way up here because of the resistance way up here. But maybe we pull down, something like that. It'd be a little bit less conservative, but also out of the way. Why is it out of the way? Because we got pivot here, we got 50 EMAs, we're downward sloping, we're inherently better than 1-to-1, you'll notice. But look what that just did for our averages, 4.77. It's crazy. Even if I lifted a little bit more, still 3%. So that's how you want to play that. Definitely a good lesson for the week. Euro AUD, I've been saying that this one was going to drop. For some reason, I didn't want to actually jump in it, which is fine. Yeah, probably should have. Didn't. It's fine. Don't want to move. This is 6 in the morning. Hit this level and drop down. Imagine having, let's see here, something like this. How you take this position is right off of that yellow line. And my stop isn't going to be that high. Let's see if I can get this down. It's going to be above the previous high though. So it'll look something like that. And maybe drop down to support 179. Not a big trade, but it could be baseline for a larger move that goes beyond this area onto this, which is baseline, and then onto 618. Yeah. So I don't know though. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, there's still going to be a side of this with these videos where I'm going to show you guys what could have happened, and then I'm going to show you what actually happened always, because I think that's the most healthy way to do this, really. 0.26 for this one. So I closed out here. 2.6 on 2.8 today. So, yeah. And that's it, guys. Thank you for joining. Feel good about this. I feel good about my ability to pick. I'm going to have percentages. I'll count that all up off screen so that this video doesn't drag on too long. But anyways, yeah, we're going to have 2 separate tallies, one with everything that was identified, one with everything that was taken. All right, so y'all get to see in real time how it transitioned from only analyzing to predicting entries to trade management, and then to funding my account and making it live. So there's a process. I want y'all to see the whole thing. Notice we're not paper trading. We don't need to do that. All right, peace.